Wave. Ladies and gentlemen, if I might now direct your attention to the screen. Here you'll see two images, and I'd like for you in your head to try to make a connection between the two. Now for some of you, you may see an instant relation, but some of you may be totally confused, but that's fine. Unfortunately, however, for millions of people a day, a connection is commonly made between these two because of the relevancy of media in regards to increased eating disorder behaviors amongst young women in America. The evolution of technology and media in recent years have certainly benefited our society as a whole, but its enveloping effects have resulted in a negative impact on the confidence of adolescent women. The distorted body image and lack of self-esteem caused by harmful media exposure results in the occurrence of eating disorders. In my speech, I'm going to inform you about the reality of eating disorders, their prevalence in America, and how mass media has substantially contributed to the demise of several young women. Now, I'm showing you a graphic organizer to give you a bit of a background to eating disorders. In the US, around 30 million people each year are affected by eating disorders, and of that, 90% are women. The two most common forms of eating disorders are anorexia nervosa and bulimia nervosa. Anorexia nervosa is characterized by someone having an abnormally low body weight, an extreme fear of gaining weight, and body dysmorphia. Bulimia is characterized by episodes of binging and purging in an effort to control out-of-control eating. Anorexia nervosa is present in about 0.3% of all women, and bulimia is present in about 1% of all women. And these numbers are pretty terrifying, but they are undoubtedly worsened by the effects of mass media. There are four major categories of risk factors for eating disorders: biological, psychological, familial, and sociocultural. Sociocultural influences, however, according to the Journal of Abnormal Psychology, have become increasingly prevalent through media exposure because of its enforcement of the thin ideal body image for women. The Journal of Adolescent Health reported that youth are typically exposed to about 7 hours of media a day. This high volume of exposure only contributes to the media's ability to affect its viewers' self-esteem. Many people are aware that the allure of Hollywood is fabricated and unreal. But it's definitely easy to forget that when a lot of women don't look like the people that they're constantly bombarded by in media. In an article by Media Column, they stress that celebrities shown in ads or television are not real. Celebrities undergo plastic surgery, partake in extreme diets, and wear swimming attire like Spanx to make themselves look flawless. In photos, they're airbrushed to look unnatural and basically perfect, which only increases the likelihood of young women acquiring eating disorders because they feel pressured to look a certain way. According to the book, The Media and Body Image, It Looks Could Kill, body image is a psychological construct. Our perception of ourselves go beyond what we physically see in a mirror because our emotions and perceptions change with our societal influences. This change is especially prevalent during adolescence and puberty because it's a time of transition, confusion, and self-repulsion. According to the Journal of Youth and Adolescence, little is known about how youth evaluate themselves as they move across adolescence because of their fluctuating self-esteem and body image. Hormones are raging, bad decisions are commonly made, and generally this is a time of great confusion for these adolescents. As stated earlier, youth are exposed to around 7 hours of media a day, so the havoc of transitioning into adulthood paired with the impactful messages provided by media result in negative psychological impacts. Now, I'm going to show you a 30-second clip from a video entitled Media and the Distortion of Body Image. As you can see, As you can see, heavy exposure to media greatly impacts its young viewers and causes them to focus on outer appearance rather than inner qualities. Media is so large-scale and powerful that most of us have become numb and unaware to its presence and effects in recent years. However, I hope that in my speech today, that I informed you about all of its psychological effects on young women and how it contributes to the prevalence of eating disorders and distorted body image in America. Technology and development can have positive intent, but in regards to the mental health of young women, it has had severe adverse effects in recent years and needs to be addressed and recognized. In conclusion, eating disorders are an unfortunately common occurrence in America, and this is largely due to the popularity and influence of mass media. After this speech, I hope that I have left you with the clarity that these two images are more connected than you could ever realize and affect millions of women every day. Thank you. And now I'll take your questions. Right.
Why is it more prevalent in women than in men? Because men are, in Hollywood, they're portrayed the same as like perfect, but you said only 10% of men have eating disorders.
It could be just because women are more objectified in media because their bodies are typically more of a focus in media rather than men. I don't have a specific statistic talking about women represented in a certain way than men, but more commonly women are exploited for their bodies more so than men, so they're under a greater pressure to look a certain way, I would say. Tara.
What would you suggest women do about this issue?
In order to help this issue, I think it's important to promote body positivity and saying that kind of every body is an okay body. You should worry about health more than vanity, and to kind of promote that eating disorders are life-threatening, and actually eating disorders are the number one, they're the biggest mental illness that kills, or I probably got that wrong, but and so I think there needs to be greater promotion about the threats of eating disorder behaviors and how they can harm women.
What was your inspiration for writing about this topic?
Over the summer, I conducted a study about media exposure and correlates to eating disorder behaviors over recent years, and I noticed that there has been a great influx and increase in these behaviors, and they haven't gone down. And so I was really inspired by that, and also I really like documentaries, and one of my favorite is called Misrepresentation, and it's about women in media kind of being misrepresented and also exploited for their bodies and how they look, and so those were definitely great inspirations. Okay, that is all.